Hell no, these things were made by the U.S. Army Corps of Engineers.
The 1980s gave us some of the greatest horror films of all time, and more than a few fell into cult status. Out of these classic movies, which stood the test of time, join ScreenRant as we look at some 80s horror cult classics that need more attention. Starting with a classic of an oversaturated genre, the zombie film. While the modern zombie was created in George A. Romero's Night of the Living Dead, they continued to evolve over the decades. One film that took them in a new and terrifying direction was Night's own pseudo-sequel, Return of the Living Dead. Featuring more intelligent zombies and a dark sense of humor, Return was a rare directorial effort from Alien screenwriter Dan O'Bannon. If you're looking for a fun zombie punk rock tale, check out this film. H.P. Lovecraft is a titan of horror, and the 1980s gave us not one, but two iconic adaptations of his works. Reanimator and From Beyond are both directed by gore master Stuart Gordon. Both star Jeffrey Combs and Barbara Crampton, and both feature a story about a scientist pushing his discovery too far and unleashing horrific monsters. Both films also feature a tongue-in-cheek black humor and some of the best screaming ever put to film. David Cronenberg is the father of body horror, and Videodrome is the film that rocketed him to public attention. While the remake of The Fly is what people tend to remember him for most, Videodrome is an unforgettable exploration of a man losing himself to obsession. Plus, how can we all forget that chest VCR? Speaking of quintessential 80s horror icons, look no further than John Carpenter. The master of horror gave us so many classic films in the 1980s. While The Thing may be his masterpiece, two other lesser explored films are Christine and They Live. Christine is an adaptation of the Stephen King book, and it's a tale of obsession and love. They Live put a spotlight on 1980s capitalism and forever gave us the iconic Obey slogan. Finally, the DIY horror film that both made Sam Raimi a filmmaking legend and gave us the iconic cabin in the woods premise. The Evil Dead was made for almost nothing budget-wise and gave audiences a gory classic loaded with gallons of fake blood. What's your favorite 80s horror cult film? Join ScreenRant again for more movie news.